Aloha everybody and welcome to part 3 and the final part of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on Super Nintendo. Yeah, this is the final part. Again, it's a very, very short game. Most Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis games are pretty short, but hey, what they make up for in length, they make up for in awesome, fun quality. What can I say? So now we're playing as Zack, the Black Ranger, and his sprite is a chimpanzee! I'm not being racist, I'm just saying that he looks like a friggin' monkey. Like, look at his lips, they're huge! Why are his lips taking up so much of his face? I mean, Jesus, he looks like an orangutan, he looks like an animal, he doesn't look like a human being. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying the sprite work is lovely. I mean, come on, look at that. He moves like a simian. I mean, come on. Alright, I'll get off this topic because I feel uncomfortable talking about this, but you know. This is the final traditional level of the game. Everything after this level will be completely different, so look forward to that. Oh god, now they have swords. And no bloodshed at all. Well, maybe they're not swords, maybe they're like foam bats or something. That's another thing I haven't mentioned yet. You know what's awesome about the putties in the TV show, if you haven't seen it? Their voices. They don't talk English, at least I don't think they ever have, but they have this weird, like, chicken language where they're like... It's just funny, because when they're, like, surrounding the Power Rangers, when they show up to beat up on the Power Rangers, they're always like... And it's like, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, when I was a kid, even back then, when I was 6 years old, I always thought the putties were, like, the stupidest, lamest enemies ever. These guys in bodysuits who talk like, you know, they just got their heads cut off. So bizarre. Anywho, folks, here is the last boss. Mastodon! Hells yeah. This is Dark Warrior, but he disappeared, as all the bosses do. Turning into the Power Ranger is not an optional thing. It always happens at this point. You know, there's no way to turn into the Ranger before that point. There's no way to save turning into it until later. When you get to this point, when you get halfway into the game, you turn into the Ranger. And in a way, it really doesn't matter, because, like, when you one-punched a gray putty, he died in one hit, you know. When you did a combo to a purple putty, they did die after that combo, and like when you turn into the Ranger, you don't really get any stronger. It's pretty much the same basic abilities. It's like Zack punching a putty is exactly the same as Zack taking a giant axe to a putty as a Power Ranger, you know? It's like either the Power Rangers are fighting much more advanced putties, therefore, in contrast to the Power Rangers, you know, improved strength and agility, they are on equal terms again. Or, you know, it's just like, well, on the show they're always fighting without their suits, so let's have, you know, part of the game where you're not fighting in the suit. Why not? I don't know. It's gonna be different in the Power Rangers movie game, which I can't wait to show off, you know. Again, that'll be after this one. I'm not gonna be doing the Sega Genesis game. Again, I've only played 3 Power Ranger games in my life. Oh god. Now they have guns. Guns and swords. These putties are getting desperate. But I've only played 3 Power Rangers games my whole life. You know, that was this one, the movie game for Super Nintendo, and the fighting game on Sega Genesis. I have not played the movie game on Sega Genesis, which is apparently different from the movie game on Super Nintendo, so what the fuck. I have never played, you know, Power Rangers Turbo or whatever, Zeo. I don't know which ones there even are. Like, I don't know what's on the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation 2, the Game Boy Color, or whatever. I only played 3 Power Rangers games my whole life. You know, I stopped watching the show when they got into outer space. And, I'm not a diehard, I'm a casual fan of the series, you know. So I'm just warning you, you know. Don't expect me to know every crazy detail. I'm not super hardcore into this series, but, you know. This is what I watched when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So where the hell are they right now, anyway? Like, the first level was in the city. You would expect that. I mean, the monsters have people there to terrorize. The second level was in some kind of factory, and you're like, well, maybe the monsters want to take over some kind of industrial chemical or poison people, I don't know. Or better yet, the sewers, Area 3, you know, maybe they want to poison the water supply of Angel Grove, you never know. But then it's like, Area 4, it's a hotel. Why are they at the hotel? I don't know, maybe they're terrorizing people again. Whatever. Now, Area 5, you start off in a cave, and the cave ends up becoming a laboratory. So you would assume this is the bad guy's place, but what the hell is this place? I don't know. I'm questioning this way too much, but you know. Easy game is easy. There's really nothing I have to say other than, oh, I like this hallway. This is the giant fuck you cannon. Every time you hear the siren going off, like wah, wah, wah. After 4 sirens, it shoots its giant fuck you laser. So you want to get either high above or way low below so that you don't get destroyed by the laser, obviously. So just keep destroying the turret and you'll get through this area no problem. I always love it when the enemies have some kind of laser or some kind of turret or something that is supposed to kill you, but when like the enemies get in front of it, they get killed themselves. I don't know why, I always find that satisfying in whatever video game does that. It's like, yeah, the enemies are kind of stupid to be walking in front of it, but it's like, hey, they should know better, whatever. But now, folks, it's time for the last boss until the final part. And Dark Warrior is probably one of the easier guys because he loves to hop around. And that's pretty much all he does. I'll do a combo to him, he'll hop to the other side, and I'll just beat him up. I'll do a combo on him, he'll disappear to the other side, and I'll do a combo to him. It's like, rarely do I get hit by this guy, and I don't know why. I mean, he's pretty fast, and he's supposed to have a big variety of moves and stuff, but, you know, Gnarly Gnome teleported, you know, at least Eye Guy had a whole bunch of stuff. At least Eye Guy never flinched when you hit him. You know, Eye Guy would keep doing whatever. But every time you do a combo on this guy, he flinches and backs up, and then he'll try jumping over you or disappearing in front of you, and I don't know. I seem to take out Dark Warrior pretty good, but I don't know. He does change his weapons every now and then, but it really doesn't matter. You cannot defeat the Great Clement. I am the Ultimate Ranger! And that's it. That's the last normal boss of the game. I love the passwords in this game as well. The passwords are 4 digits long. Super easy to remember. I always hate when the password system is like so convoluted you'll never memorize it, so you have to write it down somewhere, because the game couldn't be arsed to have a save file. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. Now the Power Rangers are combining their forces. They are combining their Zords to transform into the Megazord, the giant robot that the Power Rangers all jump into the cockpit of and pilot and destroy gigantic monsters that threaten the city. You know, monsters that are like the size of friggin' mountains and stuff. There it is, the Megazord! Would those 5 Zords combine into that machine, realistically? Probably not, but whatever. So we're in Area 6, and Area 6 is just a boss fight. This is Mutitus. And this is how the Megazord combat system works. As you see in the bottom screen there, you have your life bar and you have a power bar. The power bar is always filling up constantly, no matter what. I believe the Megazord is solar powered. But, you know, it keeps building and building and building, and the further along it gets, the more powerful the ability you will get to perform. When it fills up one bar, you can shoot a blue laser beam from out of your face. When it gets to the second part, you can shoot a fire pathway from along the ground to burn their feet. It passes another part, you can shoot a red friggin' orb on them, and if it goes all the way max, you can do like this super awesome, you know, slash attack that will drain a good chunk of their health. So, you know, you wait longer for the more powerful attacks, but you can't spam the weaker attacks in rapid succession, you know. And the same thing actually applies to the boss as well, and you gotta watch out for that. So, you can block by holding the back button, and, basically, you can swing downwards, you can swing straight ahead, you have your special powers, and if you hold up and push the swing button, you can do this really heavy sword attack, which I like to spam constantly during these boss fights, because it can drain their health so quickly. Just keep blocking, know how to use that upper slash thing, and you should do pretty good. But now, folks, we're at the final boss of the game, on the moon, in front of Rita Repulsa's lair, which looks like a really funky disco club, I must say. But this is Cyclopsis. He's actually a Zord, just like the Megazord. And, well, honestly, he's not putting up much of a fight, actually. This is the final boss? Come on! He was worse than Mutitus. Oh well, just finish him off and let's end this. Oh. It's a two-phaser. I remember I got stuck in this guy quite a bit when I was a kid, but now I'm playing it at age 24 with all the secrets that I know. Or secrets. With the knowledge of what upper swings and blocking can do for you. And honestly, this guy's not really he's not really that hard to me anymore. I don't know. I just got used to him, what can I say? Well, at least we're destroying friggin' Rita Repulsa's satellite TV. Oh no! I lost the Food Network! Ah! But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the final boss. Booyah! You can't mess with the Power Rangers, baby. Alright, Power Rangers, now go smash Rita Repulsa's castle and kill her so that you never have to do any of this ever again. They didn't do that, did they? Of course not. How did they even get the Megazord up to the moon, anyway? How do you go from friggin' industrial plant where we were fighting Mutitus, and then all of a sudden we're on the moon, fighting a Megazord on the moon? And Billy seems depressed because, well, we just beat the game, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. I mean, if you don't agree with that, well, fuck you! Just fuck you! But now we're going to be seeing the inside of the juice bar. And there on the left is Bulk and Skull. Bulk being the big guy in the pink shirt. Skull being the guy leaning against the bar. And just to the right of Kimberly, above Jason, is Ernie. I don't know why I know Ernie's name. He's not really much of a character. He was just there in the background. Occasionally they'd talk to him, but it really didn't matter. And is Billy dancing, or am I crazy? Either way, folks, I just wanted to share my love of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because it was a fantastic TV show. It's just something you can't really forget, you know. Another show I can't really forget, The Big Bad Beetleborgs. It's kind of like the Power Rangers, only instead of starring teenagers, or 30-year-olds pretending to be teenagers, or 20-year-olds, whatever. It starred, you know, actual children who morphed into adult-sized Beetleborg guys, and they were in a mansion with, like, a mummy and a ghost who looks like Jay Leno. I'm not describing it well, but I would recommend looking up the Big Bad Beetleborgs, because that's another show that's really out there. I had good children's programming back in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. I was raised on that good stuff. But I digress. So I'm going to be following up Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game, featuring Ivan Ooze. I forgot, that's actually the full title. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the game, featuring Ivan Ooze. Those passwords right there will let you do 2-player Megazord battles, so that the second player gets to play as Mutitus or Cyclopsis, and the first player will be the Megazord. So now you have a 2-player fighting system in the Power Rangers game. How about that? And Mutitus and Cyclopsis, they suck. They're not as good as the Megazord. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Great Clement. I'll see you for the movie, the game featuring Ivan Ooze. Toodles.